jetzt werden da die 3 Kraniche draußen hängen. Ist so, ist so. So, look. That's it. 3 paper cranes. The buttons on the elevator are lit up now. Ja, dann gehen wir mal rein. This doesn't seem right. Doesn't match the description I got at all. What was that? Who's there? Reina? Is it you? Huh? Who's there? Look around you. Interesting, isn't it? It's said the cranes can grant a wish. A wish. What is it you wish for? I've never been one to believe in wishes. Are you him, the collector? Also es ist wieder ein Er. Ich weiß halt auch nicht, weißt du, sagen alle eine Frau, ein Mann, eine Frau, ein Mann. Okay, dann ist es jetzt ein Mann. Eine Frau? Eine alte Frau oder ein Mann? Ein Mann. Ich glaube, ein Mann. Collector Crow, one of my names given to me over the years. Müssen wir die Stimme ändern natürlich. But with no time to waste on such boring, trivial things as introductions. Don't you want to know who I am? Es hat keine Brüste. Ja, das ist richtig, aber das kann halt auch die eher flachen Frauen treffen. Es gibt viele, die davon betroffen sind, aber ich glaube auch, dass es ein Typ ist. Die Krawatte wird es jetzt noch eindeutig machen, aber sie haben halt die ganze Zeit von einer Frau gesprochen, deswegen bin ich jetzt echt schon verwirrt. Bin mir ja nicht sicher, ob sich das nicht 2 Leute teilen. Oh, I know who you are, Detective Itō, or should I say investigator, so hard to keep straight. I suppose it's irrelevant what you call yourself now, as you've arrived exactly where you need to be. Something's different, yes, yes. What is it, I wonder? Ah, that's it. You're like me, after fashion. You see things differently from those around you. The world is not so solid and unchanging as it is for them. Things bend, they break. Am I wrong? No, nothing's been the same since Kamakura. Yes, yes, of course, the girl you murdered, Reina. Was that your fault? That's racist. Ich glaub nicht. I never meant to. Something made me. She gave me no choice. Of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. Then you are a puppet, dancing at the end of your strings to a tune you cannot hear? No, that's not what I said. I'm no one's puppet. Are you so sure, detective? Do you really feel like everything you've done is under your control? When faced with the impossible, you're so certain that every choice you make is your own. I don't know. Something I feel like they're made. Was? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're made for me. So, which is easier, I wonder, the knowledge that the cause of all your suffering and your joy is of your own doing or someone else's. I don't have time for this. Oh, of course. Our conversation has tilted towards the philosophical, but you're not here for philosophy. You want something more tangible. I want information, facts. No, it is my business to know what people desire, and that is not what you seek. What is it you want, truly? Tanaka. I want to know what really happened to him. No, it's not only that. I want to know what's happening to me too. Nothing makes sense anymore. I'm tired of chasing after clues that lead to dead ends. Perhaps I can be of some help to you. But first, please indulge me. I have a few questions. I'm curious, so curious. You're such a unique visitor after all. Yes, nothing like the others. Fine, what do you want to know? I find it interesting that someone like you would drink on a job. Das hängt uns ewig nach. Huh? You mean in the hostess bar 2 weeks ago? Yeah, what of it? It seems so obvious a mistake. Why did you make it? Ja, weil. For information, oder? Im Endeffekt haben wir es ja gemacht. It was for the case. I didn't think I'd get information otherwise. No, not that it changed anything. On the night of your partner's disappearance, you found your way into the sewer using a man. Why him? Wir bleiben ehrlich. Ja gut, ist beides ehrlich. Wir bleiben aber professionell ehrlich. The hostess at the bar had been a cagey all night, so I guess I chose him instead. What is this, some sort of psych test? I came here for answers, enough with the games. It's no game, detective. I can give you what you seek. This is my prize. That's it? If you wanted information to use against me, it seems you've already got enough. Blackmail? How pedestrian, simplistic. No, I've no interest in that. Then what do you want? Everything I collect brings me closer to an understanding, much like you. Only the puzzle I assemble is considerably larger, and the piece you provide is well worth the trouble. Shall we continue? Continue to have a choice? You've already made it. You show such little patience, detective. Surprising considering the effort you took to get here. The girl Rena, she's the one you've been chasing, yes? Let's talk about her. Why didn't you shoot her again in the sewer? She was holding your dear Tanaka at knife point. Why didn't you pull the trigger? Wüssten wir auch gern. Didn't want to hurt anyone. I should have. She didn't deserve it. Ja, wir wollten eigentlich niemanden verletzen, ne? Maybe for a police officer it sounds soft, but I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Even with Tanaka at the end of the knife, I thought it might end peacefully. Interesting, most interesting. Thought she's gone, the sleepless nights continue, don't they? You've taken your pills twice. Der weiß das wirklich sehr genau. Is that enough to make a difference? Do they help? Does it not make you question the futility of it all? Most interesting, perhaps you've told me enough. Yes, this is most useful. I accept this trade. In return you want, what was it? Ah yes, that's right, a path, a way forward. I suppose it's your turn to ask the questions now. What are you? Where's Tanaka? Is he alive? The mask. Wir wollen eigentlich alles wissen. Wir fangen mit der Maske an. I don't know why, but I get the hunch that you know what this is. What is it? Rena was obsessed with it. It must be important, but I can't figure it out. Ah, I see. A most interesting relic. It makes people do the most fascinating things. Why did Rena want it so badly? It is a tool. Instead of living in fear of it, why not use it? It may be the key that will help you find your precious Tanaka. Though as powerful as it is, one cannot expect to use it knowing nothing about it. You said it yourself. It all started in Kamakura. The Kawanas have quite a history with that mask. The Kawanas. The shrine maiden girl, her grandmother was the one who gave it to me. The very same. It gives me the creeps. Maybe I should have gotten rid of it. Don't do that. You'll never find your way without it. Okay, das ist sehr interessant. Fragen wir mal, was er ist. A dressmaker, a cab reader, a blackmailer. Seems that no one in this town can agree on anything about you except your name. There's no way anyone could know what you do. It's impossible. So what are you? Take a look around you. Is it not familiar? Can you not smell it? The stench of corruption. I've been here for so long, longer than you can imagine. Feeling the desires, the loves, the hatred of mankind flow through this place. For you, detective, I'm exactly who you need me to be. Now, shall we return our attention to the matter at hand? Our trade, after all, was not for the knowledge of how I fit into your story. It was for a way to clear the, how did you put it? Ah yes, to clear the dead ends you run up against. Let us reconsider your problem. Where is Tanaka? In the dark, whether he lives. That is more difficult. The dark. That's not the first time I've heard that. What is it? Where can I find it? A better question is, where can it not be found? Can you not feel it around you, following you at every turn? It pays great mind to those within its walls. You know of whom I speak. Der Waschbär! Hallihallo, schön, dass du da bist! Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Alles klar bei dir? Rita, der Waschbär ist jetzt da. Schön gut angemeldet. You know of whom I speak. And the common thread that binds all the misery in your heart. Rena, and if that's where she is, Tanaka must be there too. The girl's thread is a complicated one. Yes, very tangled. Waschbär. It begins in Kabukicho, in a talent agency called Omega. Kabukicho, I know it well enough. As I imagine any officer of the law would. The dark is a sacred place, it lives and breathes, changes shape and goes where it pleases. And it's the girl whose suffering determines its shape. Without understanding its root, you will never find your way, or it could tear you apart. Like it almost has already, the mask and the dark are inexplorably linked. Pursuing one without the other is futile. Now you are an enemy of the dark, it will reject you without understanding it, and you'll be lost without the necessary tool. How will I know when a path's been opened? Ask your puppet master. My end of the bargain has been up. Ich hab's nicht gelesen, verdammt. You seem awfully eager to help me. What's the catch? Something tells me I'm going to regret talking to you. Paranoia, an unnecessary feeling. As I said, people fascinate me, especially ones as unique as yourself. You are a detective. I only given you the tools you need to finish the job. From there, now that is the interesting part. I look forward to seeing your progress. Consider your debt to me partially repaid. The rest I shall collect at another time. Tell me, my little puppet, if you can see your strings, does your dance not continue? Until we meet again. Wie geht's dir? Ui. Hier ist gerade ein Sprachfehler entwickelt. Eieiei. Gut, der hat uns da zu Genüge gehabt. Wir schauen jetzt einmal, ob wir da irgendwo hingehen können. Ja. The air in the collector's basement was stagnant and heavy. If I had stayed any longer, I felt like it may have suffocated me. For the time I was there, Akihabara faded away into a distant memory. I returned to the surface, put my hand up to shield my eyes from the sunlight, and listened to the people on the street. Their conversations seemed to a pointless part of a world I no longer belonged to. The busy sounds of the street swept the cobwebs from my mind, forcing me to remember everything I told the collector and everything he impossibly knew. I told him so much, but did I have a choice? Maybe he was right, and I was a puppet after all. At that moment, it didn't matter. The dark and the mask both belonged to a world I was now part of. Normal methods of an investigation wouldn't lead me to them. Countless paths were narrowed to two, and I had no choice but to march forward toward the leads I'd been given. Ich würde ja gern. Ich vergesse immer wieder mal, wie Deutsch funktioniert. Und Beispiel, ich würde es echt gern vorlesen, aber ich fürchte, ich kann das nicht. Aber es sieht spanisch aus. As I left Akihabara behind, one thing bothered me. How did the collector know so much about me? Was I really so easy to read? Estoy bien, gracias. Gracias. Oh, your French is very good. Gracias. Weißt du, was ich gar nicht verstehe? Was verstehst nicht? Es kommt mir Spanisch vor. Ja, schon ein bisschen. Mandarin, ja. Das, ich glaube, ja, also Chinesisch, ja. Mandarin, das stimmt schon. Irgendwie versteht das keiner. Ich verstehe kein Fach Chinesisch. I didn't have time to dwell on it. Kazuki and Reina were in the dark. That much had been all but confirmed. And I now had a means, however impossible, to find them. Two paths, the mask and the dark, both were necessary, and I had to make a choice of which to follow first. Chase after talent agency in Tokyo's red light district, or back to Kamakura to visit Mei, the girl I nearly got killed. Neither seemed very appealing. My logical side didn't understand how either would help, but as everything around me cracked and crumbled away, logic didn't matter anymore. I had to choose, or maybe something would choose for me. Bin mir gerade nicht sicher. Oh ja, es geht dann um die zwei, nehme ich mal an. Ja, okay. Sollen wir zuerst nach Kabukicho gehen oder nach Kamakura? Kamakura war eben dieser Vorfall mit dieser Reina. Kabukicho habe ich jetzt irgendwie nicht so wirklich ganz auf dem Schirm, weil ich ein bisschen verplant bin. Ich sag mal 1. Was ist denn das für ein Name? Tjo, und so. Ihr dürft gerne wählen. Ich bin nur schnell am Klo, ich komme gleich wieder. Ich interveniere. Schiebung. Warum? Was haben wir hier? Kabuchiko und Kamakura. 1 sagt der Hirs, der Waschbär sagt 2, weil Hirs 1 sagt. Und das hat er doch erwartet. Alles andere hätte mich schwer erschüttert. Me too. Kroni sagt 1. Deswegen Schiebung und du intervenierst. Tja, aber du bist übervotet worden, lieber Waschbär. Das heißt, wir gehen jetzt nach Kabukicho. I don't know how to spell. Oder wie sagt man da? Egal, aber wir gehen da jetzt mal ran. Hast du jetzt eigentlich schon eine Rückmeldung bezüglich der Verwendung für YouTube? Eine Rückmeldung bezüglich der Verwendung für YouTube. Oh, danke, hat jetzt ein bisschen gedauert. Ich habe bis jetzt noch nichts bekommen. Ich habe gesagt, ich soll 1 in den Chat. Ich habe gesagt, du sollst 1 oder 2 in den Chat schreiben. Ne? So ist es. So, ich sagte, er soll sich was aussuchen. Er hat wahrscheinlich wieder nicht zugehört. Die Wahl verfälscht. So, the collector mentioned the talent agency by the name of Omega here in Kabukicho with ties to Rina. Unless there's a big sign advertising it, which I highly doubt, I need to ask around to find it. Oh Gott, bitte nicht. Kontakt mit Menschen. Und Boobies! Boobies everywhere! Based on the dragon motifs and a general vibe around the building, I'd guess this place is no normal bar. Who knows how many other places around here the Yakuza have dipped their fingers into. Ja, man könnte jetzt verdächtigen, aber wir reden dann nicht mit, wir sind ja eigentlich nur Ausländer. Also. Wir wissen ja nicht über die Bräuche Bescheid. Polizei, die redet nicht mit unserer Katze! Oh. Look. 3 faces in a uniform that I don't recognize. I doubt they'll have a hard time recognizing me. The way they're huddled around, it hardly looks like they're doing much police work. More than a few violations probably pass under their noses, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone slips them a bit of cash on the side to ignore them. Cops like that probably wouldn't give me any trouble, and they definitely aren't going to blab to their superiors about seeing me in Kabukicho. Listen. Ich dachte, wir listen nur. Warum müssen wir jetzt reden? Hey, hold up. Don't I know you? Who, me? Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Unless you're hiding someone behind your back. Aren't you the detective whose face was all over town for a few weeks back? Yeah, that's it. How didn't I recognize you before? Hey guys, didn't someone from headquarters come by and ask us about her earlier? Maybe we should call it in. Hold on, wie sind wir eine andere Stimme? Hold on then, Jiro. You really think that's a good idea? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm not risking my job over some nobody detective. Yeah, well, call it in to HQ and you might be risking more than your job if you know what I mean. Ryu's right. Why should we stick our necks out when she hasn't even done anything wrong? Being on leave doesn't mean she can't walk around, does it? I'm with you, Ryu. I doubt I need to remind you boys what happens when you ruffle the wrong feathers at HQ. You guys can be serious. Look, I'm not saying we arrest her, only you're going to piss off the wrong people than Gio. I don't know how much more obvious I need to be for you to get it. No one, not even the detective here, is worth bringing down her wrath. Especially right now, things aren't exactly on stable ground around here since the Mifune family shake-up. Don't need a repeat of Officer Ono. packed for promotion one day, and then some anonymous tip comes in to HQ that one has been selling a little dope on the side, even got a gun to tie him to a crime scene. Yeah, a gun that's mysteriously gone missing from evidence. You think that story is true? Does it really matter if it is or not? The point is he asked too many questions around here and now he's in jail. Oh, Heidi, du bist auch da. Schön, schön, dass du da bist. Und gute Nacht, Atemgeil. Schön, dass du da warst. Hab noch einen schönen Abend. Schlaf gut. So. Heidi, ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Alles klar bei dir? Ich sehe schon, da treffen sich wieder ein paar. So. Habe ich das jetzt schon gelesen? Ich glaube. Some police, we are held hostage by some... Huh, screw it, maybe you guys are right. Suppose if that guy from HQ asks again, we can say we didn't see any detective tonight. That's right, we didn't see you and you definitely didn't talk to us, got it? Yeah, I got it. Being on the street around here isn't exactly an easy position to be in, huh? You mean at the bottom? Yeah, doesn't give us a whole lot of options. Feels like I'm always stuck between HQ and all the other shit going on around here. I'm not sure which is worse, honestly. You read the papers, don't you, detective? You heard about the Mifune family, right? Ja, muss. Oh, muss klingt aber nicht so begeistert. Warst du bis jetzt noch arbeiten oder was los? Was ist los, Heidi? Sprich zu mir. Yeah, I'm sure he has, and that's all you need to say on the subject. You never know who's working for who around here, so put a lid on it. Eine sehr gute Kollegin und liebe Freundin wurde positiv auf Corona getestet. Bin natürlich ein bisschen besorgt. Das verstehe ich, das kann ich verstehen. Naja, ich drück euch, also dir mal die Daumen, dass du dich nicht angesteckt hast und ihr natürlich die Daumen, dass sie bald wieder gesund wird und dass sie da hoffentlich keine so krassen Nebenwirkungen davon tragen wird. Und es gibt ja auch die milden Verläufe, also ich drücke die Daumen, dass sie dann einen milden bis einen Nulli-Verlauf hat. Keine Ahnung. Meine Güte. Kann ich natürlich verstehen, dass du da besorgt bist. Ja, es ist so blöd, wenn man dann in dieser ganzen Corona-Situation so langsam am Anfang, ne, war man halt irgendwie so, war das irgendwie so irreal, surreal und man fühlte sich nicht wirklich betroffen. Und bei uns war es jetzt auch so, dass ein Bekannter eben Corona bekommen hat. Und das ist halt schon, wenn es dann im Bekanntenkreis anfängt oder im näheren Umfeld, dann macht man sich schon Gedanken oder dann beschäftigt man sich schon sehr viel damit und dann fragt man sich auch, wie harmlos oder wie gefährlich ist das denn wirklich, ne? Dann ein entferntes gute Besserung an deine Kollegin und einen hoffentlich milden Verlauf. Ja, wir drücken dir die Daumen. Ich dir die Glückwünsche aus. Das ist gut, Heidi. Mach dir nicht zu viele Sorgen. Das wird schon gut gehen. Listen, detective, whatever you think we are or what you think goes around here, it isn't so simple as good cops and bad cops, remember that. Kabukicho might not be perfect, but we do our best to keep the peace, right? Right. Like you said, we're trying our best, so don't cause any trouble for us and we'll return the favor by not letting HQ know about this. There's plenty scarier than HQ out there. That's for sure. Why don't you move along, detective? I think I'll do just that. Good luck, officers. Die haben aber auch einen Federschwall jetzt gehabt, ne? Wahnsinn.